Currently, it's 3:50 a.m. in the morning. It is with a heavy heart that I announce that I really just wanted to do a fake YouTuber apology video about Hack from Scratch being canceled because there's been so many things to hack together and roadblocks along the way. We bought a green flag because in Scratch, the green flag means start, but didn't come with a pole. And so we improvised a bunch of mic tripods together, and it works. It turns out YouTube has a 24-hour pre-stream waiting period, so we couldn't stream on YouTube. And so we made a last-second migration to Twitch and put together a video to get our YouTube followers on Twitch. It works. We didn't have a mirror, so we used a whiteboard to reflect our lighting. It's not pretty, but it works. There's been so many challenges and improvised solutions along the way. Much of this is new to all of us, but I think we're gonna manage to hack it together in the end. And that's really what Hack from Scratch is all about. It's about creative solutions. It's about trying new things that you've never tried before. And it's about raising money to support child creativity and education in partnership with the Scratch. So with that said, I'd like to take this time to showcase the cause that we're raising money for.
When I open Scratch, it feels like opening a door to the world, like stepping into a place where my thoughts are not just thoughts anymore. They can move, sing, and come to life. There are 200 million of us here. Kids building games, animations, stories, art. We're all learning and inventing at the same time. Before Scratch, I mostly kept to myself. I had ideas, but I did not always share them. Here, it feels easier, safer, kinder. I can create a world, design characters, and when I share what I make, something amazing happens. A girl in Lebanon makes it spin. A kid in Ireland drops a beat. Someone in Kenya remixes it. We might not speak the same language, but we understand each other through imagination. And now, Scratch 4.0 is growing with us, with new superpowers. When I get stuck, it helps me think bigger, overcome obstacles, and light up new paths to discovery. If Scratch could help me find my voice, imagine what it can do for the next 100 million kids. Help us shape Scratch 4.0 so we can build our future.
The Scratch Foundation mission is really inspiring. It's kept us going even at 3:50 a.m. in the morning. It's for the kids, we say, as we're working on this project. So if you'd like to donate at any time, you can go to hackfromscratch.org/donate and click the donate button for more info. And speaking of donations, here's a special broadcast on some of the awesome donation rewards that our collaborating student orgs have put together.
Oh my goodness, the storm outside it's horrible. The rain, the snow, it's everything. I'm just being pelted by amazing deals. That's right. You, dear viewers on the Hack from Scratch live stream, you get the chance to get some exclusive merchandise only found here on this live stream. By donating different amounts of money, you yourselves can be the proud owners of these many items. Starting at just $15, you can buy the swag bag, which includes custom stickers, buttons, a laser cut badge, and a custom printed receipt. Ooh. For $10, you can purchase your choice of the PMP compilation CD or the SIDGD Echoes of Asobios OST CD with custom printed receipts. Ooh. And now, here's the kicker. $25. That's like maybe a meal and a little extra at Culver's. You can buy your choice of the Creative Writing Club's book, The Chosen One, or the Purdue Hackers book, Sighorse. Let's take a look at a random page, shall we? Here we can see that Sarlacc cannot compete against internment. But what's going on? My friend will know that I have been struggling to get the flame drafts working to provide clarity on this issue. Huh. Sounds like you need to read a book, nerd. This book. For $50, that's right, 50, the big 50, you can purchase a beautiful shirt that's going to be displayed on me right now. This shirt is the amazing logo from Hack from Scratch made by our beautiful design team. And on the back side, which is going to be shown right now as well, has all the beautiful and amazing sponsored clubs that we have participating in this live stream. Who wouldn't want a shirt to show all those amazing clubs? And now, here's the kicker. For one big $100, you can buy absolutely everything. That's right. The CDs, the books, the shirt, the swag bag, all of it can be yours for just $100. That's $100 at hackfromscratch.org. That's right. You can be the owner of all of this. All you have to do is give us your money.
Give the Scratch Foundation your money, not us.
There's some incredible Purdue student work being offered as a part of this campaign. I can't wait to get my hands on some of this merch. And if you want to, make sure to donate. Next up, I want to introduce you to our Creative Jam. We initially were going to run a hackathon-style jam with judging, but we ultimately decided against it. Instead, we're doing a mix of raffles and participation categories, with help from our corporate sponsors and partnering clubs. We'll be requiring a baseline amount of work. We want you to explain what you've done during the week, what you've learned for it, and show it off, since that's what the creative process is all about. Feel free to include hashtag hackfromscratch or tag one of our socials if you want to post about the work that you've done. We'll have more info on submissions later on during the week. But for now, please take a look at the categories and prizes that we'll be offering. The Hack from Scratch team can't wait to see what you all create. Feel free to join our Discord server to chat about your projects or ask for help. We'll do our best to provide it if we can. And since we're not judging, help each other out. Hack from Scratch is all about creating, encouraging creativity. So we encourage collaboration between projects. And thank you to all of our sponsors for supporting. We've never attempted anything like this before, so the support means a lot. And speaking of support, here's a quick overview of all of our collaborations. It's really incredible, and so I just want to share. Ad Liberation, Cadenza Piano Club, Carry Club, Catalyst, Creative Writing Club, Creative Coding Club, Hack Indie, Life on the Wabash, Competitive Magic the Gathering Club, McCutcheon Royal Highlanders, Purdue American Foundry Society, Purdue Fantasy Club, Purdue Hackers, Purdue Music Producers, Railside Robotics, Search, SIGGD, Touch Grass Together. We've brought together 20 plus clubs across various different disciplines to showcase the awesome work done by Purdue students on stream. A quick overview of the schedule and the awesome events being put on by these clubs. Today is Steam and Sorcery, highlighting fantasy at Purdue in partnership with Purdue Fantasy Club, Cosplay Club, and Competitive Magic the Gathering Club. Tomorrow is Purdue Plays, highlighting gaming across Purdue with various gaming challenges throughout the day. We'll update the schedule daily on our socials, which you can find below. Make sure to follow for the latest info. Finally, before we transition to an interview with Scratch Lab director and Makey Makey co-founder Eric Rosenbaum to hear more about his story, I want to quickly mention that we'll be having donation incentives and polls throughout the week. We'll announce these as they come, but our first donation incentive is the Cosplay Club Choosing My Outfit. If we can hit $500 before tomorrow, I'll wear whatever the Cosplay Club asked me to wear. So if you want to see that, make sure to donate to support child creativity. And with all that out of the way, it's time to hack from scratch.
Joining me here today is Eric Rosenbaum, director of the Scratch Lab and co-founder of Makey Makey, with a bachelor's in psychology and mind-brain behavior and master's in technology and education from Harvard, as well as a PhD at MIT Media Lab in the Lifelong Kindergarten Group. So, Eric, thanks for taking the time to chat today.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
So, first question for you, Eric. You're known for turning bananas into pianos and staircases into synthesizers with the Makey Makey. Where did your personal creative journey begin, and what were your inspirations along the way?
Like many of you, I loved making stuff as a kid. I did a lot of Lego. I did visual art. I did music. I played the trombone. I loved combining those things in different ways. Um, in college, I was doing a combination of those things, but trying to figure out if I wanted to be a neuroscientist. I still love thinking about the mind and how it works, but one night in the lab, I was using code to analyze some monkey brain data, and I realized I could turn it backwards and use code to, instead of analyzing signals like sounds, to generate sounds. And that led me down this path of using code to create things, um, music, and lots of other stuff over the years. And so I realized, like, hey, maybe I'm not actually a neuroscientist, but what am I? And it took a while to figure it out. Um, it was around that time that the first Lego Mindstorms robotics kit came out.
Oh yeah.
So I started building little robots, got excited about electronics, and learned around that time about the existence of the Lifelong Kindergarten group at the MIT Media Lab, which was doing robotics and coding for kids. And I thought, oh, maybe this is my place.
That's a wow. That's a great jumping off point. So you've worked heavily with the Lifelong Kindergarten group at MIT, right? So for our viewers tuning in, what does the Lifelong Kindergarten group philosophy actually mean when it comes to learning?
Yeah, the name of the research group led by Professor Mitch Resnick, who was
Mhm.
my PhD advisor, Lifelong Kindergarten, is really fun because it's about taking inspiration from how kids learn in kindergarten and saying, why can't we learn throughout life in that way? And what we mean is learning through play, learning by making things. Obviously, like snack time and naps are important, but also learning and playing and making together with others. Um, and that inspiration plays out in lots of different ways, through the different tools and learning environments that Mitch and the Lifelong Kindergarten group have created over the years, including um, the work on playful robotics for children, the Computer Clubhouse Network, which is informal learning environments where kids can learn and create with technology all over the world, and also, of course, the Scratch coding community for kids, and other new projects too.
Yeah, that's incredible. We'll get to Scratch in a bit because I have a ton of questions about that and your involvement with the Scratch Lab. But really quickly, I just wanted to ask, as a fellow creative, we're running a week-long creative jam as a part of the Hack from Scratch initiative, and so a lot of people are going to be interested in participating, but they might have concerns or reservations about building and trying something new. So as with your experience creating things and with the Lifelong Kindergarten group, what's your advice for just starting as a creative?
Yeah, it can be hard to get started. One big picture thing, your mindset matters. There's this concept of the growth mindset, which is really powerful. So, unlike the fixed mindset where you believe that your intelligence just is what it is, you are who you are, and you're not going to change, and in which case, if something doesn't work out, that's evidence that you're not good at something or you can't do it. The growth mindset is the opposite. You can change not just what you can do, but who you can be. And trying something and it not working is evidence that you can use the next time you try to get it to work
Mhm.
and to learn and grow and build new things. So growth mindset's super important as you get started. Um, Another thing is just like lean into your own weird ideas. You may see a possibility that other people don't understand, but if you can build something that you love, you will bring other people into that
That's
joy
awesome.
with you.
I'd love to hear a bit more about some of your weird ideas and growth mindset. So, what's a prototype you built either for Makey Makey or at Scratch that completely failed was a great learning experience for you?
Yeah, there's so many bumps along the road in the journey, and we learn from all of them.
Mhm.
One, um, that in the early stages of developing Makey Makey, we built after we built the sort of scrappy proto board version of it that was hand soldered. We had
Right.
our very first printed circuit board version, just a little green printed circuit board, not
Mhm.
as beautiful as the product is today.
Sure.
And as soon as we put it into other people's hands, we found that the USB connector just ripped right off and the
Oh.
board was totaled.
Oh.
So we had to like put a whole bunch of hot glue on them to make sure it was going to like work even for an
Yeah.
hour at the workshop.
Sure.
And the lesson there is about connectors. They can seem like just a detail, like, oh, we just got to attach that to that. So you just add a connector. But they're actually really crucial, especially for creative tools or for things that people are going to use to make something. Because ideally, you design it so smoothly that people don't even notice the connection and that it's very fluid and easy to connect and disconnect. You don't think about it, you don't worry about it, because that fluidity lets you tinker. You're more likely to try more things if you're not worried about how to attach them. It's inspiration from Lego, where all the parts just connect easily and disconnect easily from all the other parts. And so with Makey Makey, it's not just the USB connector, but also those alligator clips and exactly how
Right.
you can connect them.
Yeah, that's and the allegory to connectors is incredible because it's very synonymous with Makey Makey, but as well as what Scratch does, right? Because you're putting blocks together. It's not just a coding language, but it's a global community where people just combine things, explore, create. It's really incredible. So for the people watching right now, I'd like if you'd talk a bit about the Scratch Foundation, what the core mission of it is today.
We have a mission to help kids everywhere create what they imagine. Um, it's a big vision, but it's the role that Scratch is already serving as a free tool for creative coding that lets kids make their own animations and stories and games and share them with each other and collaborate across so many different languages and so many different countries across a wide range of ages. Um, yeah.
It's incredible. So, just bouncing off of that, our viewers are going to be donating throughout the week to support early STEM and creative education, this mission. When someone drops $50 into our Tiltify campaign, what kind of world impact does that actually have?
Yeah. Zooming out, we serve millions of children around the world, and we've been serving kids for decades already with Scratch. As our community has grown, we want to be responsible and caring stewards of that safe and creative place for kids to make together for many years to come. And so you can help to power that future. But also, I want to talk about there's that big picture, but also like down to the level of one kid. The why of it for me is about a kind of transformation that I experienced in my own life where learning to create things and express my own ideas and my imagination through technology, breathing life into something outside yourself and watching it go because you learned just enough technological wizardry to make it happen changes not just your sense of what you can do and make, but who you are and who you can become. It changed my life, and Scratch in that way has changed the lives of millions of kids around the world. And that is only more important in the future. And also, more than ever today, doing that in community with other kids is really powerful and important. And the Scratch community takes a lot of resources for us to build the next generation of it, to maintain it, to power the safety system that requires a whole staff of moderators to help us keep innovating and power our R&D. And your donations help with all those things.
Yeah, it's a really magical experience when you're building something, you're learning from it, and then it finally comes to life, and that it's just there's nothing like it. So I want to jump a little bit into the realm of computing because you've done a lot with computer science. You mentioned you worked with Mitch Resnick, Lifelong Kindergarten Group. As a computer scientist myself, as well as someone interested in STEM education, you've had the chance to watch how computing and teaching computing has evolved over the past decade. As we look at the next generation of kids growing up with technology, what excites you the most about that?
It's a crazy moment right now because of the way AI is changing how
Mhm.
we create things with technology. It almost seemed like the computer changed from something that could only do what it was programmed to by somebody else to now something that can do anything that you want if you just ask.
It's a
uh,
wild transformation.
I've done, quite a lot of vibe coding in addition to just like AI assisted software engineering. Vibe coding meaning less like just try stuff and see what it produces. Don't worry about the code. Just explore your imagination. And I have a very verbal 3-year old and got the chance to try it with her by using the speech input to make an interactive keyboard for our space mission that can play different sounds when you press keys. And so to her, like, what is the computer? It's just a magical power that you cast a spell on by asking it to do things, and then it can just do them for you. And I'm really excited to put creative power like that into kids' hands. But there's a challenge here, which is that you have to know a lot today to use the system and make it do what you want because you have to know what it can and can't do, what it's likely to do, how to use words to describe what you want it to do. And so there's a lot of learning that needs to go into helping um, kids prepare for this world. And so I think what's really exciting is the design of tools that preserve kids' agency and that learning process, the productive struggle and the mark of your own hand that goes into making something that is really your own and that you care about. And so resisting the pure AI automation and leaning into creative tools that put the power of AI into kids' hands. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and I would honestly, I'd love to hear more about that because you're the director of AI creativity and education at the Scratch Lab. That's one of your main focuses. And so shortly after this, we actually have a Purdue faculty panel discussing AI creativity and education. So I'd love to hear a bit more about creative AI at Scratch and how you're going about taking that philosophy that you've described and transforming it into reality.
The short answer is we're still in an exploration phase. And so I don't want to describe something and make people think that's what we're going to ship
Absolutely.
because there's a lot of big open questions ranging from how the learning philosophy plays out to how the technology plays out so that we can really provide it for everyone in a sustainable way. We do have some high level principles, some
Mhm.
we call them guiding stars and lines in the sand. There's a blog post you can check out on that topic. But some of the ideas in there are there's a core responsibility that we have to do AI in a way that is safe, transparent, private, um, and of course, sustainable.
Mhm.
So that's the AI responsibility part. And then there's the agency I've been talking about. So make sure that, AI is not, as it's often used in the dominant paradigm, not used for automation and surveillance, but primarily as a way to put power into kids' hands. So viewing AI fundamentally as a tool
Right.
for kids. And then related to that is trying to use AI in a way that's human centered so that it doesn't ever replace human interactions or collaboration or teaching, but that it powers and amplifies those interactions. It supports them. And those are hard things to do.
Mhm.
We have several areas that we've been exploring creative AI features in. Um, One is a kind of in context help to help you get unstuck as you're learning and coding. Um, Another one is um, features that let you make your own AI inside projects. So, where the Scratch coding environment has all these capabilities today to add interactivity and sound and animation to
Okay.
your project, these are features that allow you to add AI features um, things like speech recognition, text generation, image analysis. So we've been prototyping those. They're super fun. Um, and then there's also features at the level of community to support collaboration and safety. And those are really exciting and powerful. Things like helping kids connect to their interests and to each other through smarter search and recommendation systems, and helping kids collaborate through new tools that help them build projects together. So those are really exciting too.
Yeah. And then just one more quick question about that. One thing I actually ended up talking about with Jonathan Green a little bit, was about how you're approaching actually the design of the artificial intelligence in Scratch, where you're specifically designing AI to make sure that it's learnable. An example that he gave me was in terms of you mentioned image recognition and maybe, for example, let's say facial recognition. Um, you specifically talk about, oh, in the actual design, maybe instead of a face, maybe it recognizes an orange as a face or something. So, which is a common problem to have, right? And so, how do you, when you're actually designing these tools, how do you also consider the lessons to be learned around them and focus on that?
Yeah, important question. We have this face sensing extension, an extension in Scratch is additional blocks that bring new capabilities. We launched last
Mhm.
year a AI powered tool that can detect the position of different parts of your face. So it's not face recognition, like it can't tell who you are, but it's face detection. It knows that there's a face there. And one interesting thing about it is that it goes wrong in lots of different ways. When it can't detect a face, or when it sees something that isn't a face that it thinks maybe it is. And that's a really interesting thing to explore. And so we've built activities around probing the edges. Kids very naturally, when you provide them a creative tool, will push the boundaries. Like, how can I break it? What can I make it do that it's not supposed to? And we love that. And it's a learning opportunity with the right structure around it for these AI tools. So those explorations of face sensing are one, like, can you draw a picture of a face that it recognizes as a face? What parts of the face does it need for it to work versus not? Um, so with these other tools that I've been talking about, there's that question, like, where we design it primarily as a creative tool first, like it's about using it to make something, not we're not really doing learning about AI so much as creative tools powered by AI for kids. But in the process, it might be that making with AI is a way to learn about AI that's really authentic because you care about it. You're trying to get it to do something that you want to do. So you have to learn about the quirks of what it can and can't do to get it to work.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm trying to think of an example of that that I can share. Um, when you interact with, say, a chat-based help system, because that's something that we've prototyped, although there are a lot of challenges with that. How do you steer the conversation to get the kind of help that you want? So that's just like using bots in a way. It's the
Right.
prompting skill. Or if you use the on-device image analysis, so it's totally safe and private, how do you craft the image that you provide to it so it's going to be able to answer the question that you have, because it can't do everything a person can. It sees it in its own idiosyncratic way, like the face sensing blocks do. So there's a lot of open questions there for us, but primarily I see it as we're making creative tools first, and then part of the task of empowering kids to make things they care about with those tools is helping them learn about how they work.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see about the future of Scratch, Scratch 4.0, and everything. Eric, this has been really incredible. Thank you for taking the time to chat today. Before we let you go and transition to our faculty panel, I just wanted to quickly ask, is there anything you'd like to say to the Hack from Scratch community, to the people tuning in to watch and donate, the student organizers, and the creatives participating in our creative jam?
Don't afraid, don't blah, blah. Don't be a Let me try again.
It's
Don't be
fine to make mistakes.
It's great. It's great to make mistakes and blah, blah, blah. But also, don't be afraid to get weird. If you make something that you love, other people are gonna love it too.
All right, Eric, thanks for taking the time to chat today.
My pleasure.